Let's Dance. This is the 15th studio album by English singer-songwriter David Bowie. Released on 14th of April, 1983 by EMI Records, America. The murder of John Lennon in December of 1980 affected Bowie deeply. He cancelled upcoming tour to promote his previous album, Scary Monsters, and withdrew to his home in Switzerland, where he became a recluse and continued working. He had just left RCA Records due to dissatisfaction with them, and he signed with EMI America in 1982. Bowie decided he wanted a fresh start and chose Niles Rodgers of the rock disco band Chic to co-produce his next record. The album was recorded in December of 82 at the Power Station in New York City. The sessions featured entirely new personnel, including then unknown Texas blues guitarist Stevie Ray Vaughn on lead guitar. For the first time ever, Bowie played no instruments, solely contributing vocals. It contains 3 cover songs: Iggy Pop's China Girl, which Bowie co-wrote with Pop for the Idiot album in 1977, Metro's Criminal World, and a reworking of Cat People, Putting Out Fire, originally recorded by Bowie for the movie of the same name. Let's Dance was released to massive commercial success, reaching #1 in numerous countries and turned Bowie into a major superstar. It remains Bowie's best-selling album, sold about 11 million records worldwide. Despite the massive success of the album, Let's Dance began a period of low creativity for Bowie. He felt that he had to pander his music to his new acquired audience, which led to his follow-up albums, Tonight, Never Let Me Down, being critically dismissed. He would later reflect poorly on that period and referred to it as his Phil Collins years. Oh. So, Brad, this is my album.
Yes.
Do you like it?
You did choose this one. You always just throw it to me and you ask me if I like it or don't like it. I never get a chance to discuss the album before saying whether I like it or not. But
Brad, how are you feeling?
Well, I'm slightly chilly, but I've got the heater on, so I'll be okay.
Brad,
what I'm surprised to hear, my feeling is elation. At talking about, at being asked about my feelings. I'm happy about it. You know what I'm surprised about? I did not know, though I should have known upon listening to this album, that it was a young Stevie Ray. Stevie Ray Vaughn plays guitar in this. And like listening to it, I was like, fuck, that blues guitar seems out of place. And now I know why. Because it was Stevie Ray Vaughn and he should have been doing better things. This, to me, is both peak Bowie and the bottom end of Bowie. So it's Bowie and it's Bowie at the same time. That's how I feel about this album. I put it on and I went, I love Let's Dance. I remember this from my childhood. This is a banger of a song, right? And so I chucked the album on, and the opening track, which is a catchy motherfucker by the name of Modern Love, right? Great track. Boom, banger. China Girl, blam, double punch, uppercut, and then boom, knockout #3 of Let's Dance. And then a complete rat ass of crap to finish it up, including the worst reworking of his own song ever with Cat People.
What's wrong with Cat People?
The original is brilliant. This reworking is a pile of cat turds. You should have just reworded it cat turds instead of cat people. Cat people putting out turds.
What the hell are you talking about? It sounds fine.
No, compared to the film version, it's awful. Tell me what you think, because my opinion differs from yours.
Oh my God, Brad. Like you just shit the bed every time with your opinions. Unless it's crap, you hate it. Oh. We got critics here. We got critics. We got David Frick, Rolling Stone magazine, called it Bowie at his best.
No.
Jay Cox, Mr. Cox, described the album as unabashedly commercial, melodically alliterative, I don't know, and lyrically smart at the same time.
You know what? I agree with both those statements for the first half of the album. I could not believe how badass and how excited I was about the first 15 minutes of this record. And then it just fell off a cliff to unmemorable, uncatchy 80s garbage.
I got a bad review here. Ed Power of the Irish Examiner, an Irishman.
An Irishman.
He was fucking drunk.
Potato.
He wrote that Bowie pleaded shamelessly for the love of the mass market with this album. The title track was a decent chunk of funk rock, and Bowie did not embarrass himself on the single China Girl. Otherwise, the record has a great deal in common with Wham and Phil Collins.
Yes, Phil Collins in there. It's definitely 80s, right? Give me that.
Well, it was released in 1983.
Well, you know what? Let's hear your amazing opinion. Tell us your thoughts on Bowie's Modern Love.
What, just the first song?
Welcome to Two Cunts Argue about Bowie's career.
I don't want to hear your opinion. Shut up. So I'm going to tell everyone the definitive review. This is what everyone needs to believe. There can be no questioning of my opinions. This is a dictatorship now. So let's talk about John Lennon died. It really shook up Bowie, and he became a recluse. And EMI apparently fell out with them because he felt like they were flogging his back catalogue. And so he went to America and signed with American EMI Records. And his previous album was Scary Monsters. And if you haven't heard Scary Monsters is amazing. It's just a great record.
What's the hit song of Scary Monsters?
Scary Monsters and Super Creeps.
Never heard of either of them.
Yeah, so the problem was that it was number 1 in UK and number 105 in America and not really known around the world. So when he went to America, he was like, I want a big hit album. Like, he was an art rock guy that we all know, but at the time he wasn't moving the records people you would think he was moving, like Space Oddity wasn't as big a hit as you thought it was, It's well known now, but he wasn't making the money.
What was Bowie known for in the 70s? It was Ziggy, right? Like, it wasn't like Starman and all that stuff, right? That's peak Bowie.
He was British famous, but he wasn't American famous.
Yeah, right. Okay. Yeah.
So that's where he gets this Niles Rodgers, who's Nile was like the disco king. He was like Donna Summers and hit disco records. And so he went to this guy and said, I want to make a hit record. And so they got to work on that. And he had something to prove. He was coming to America. He wanted to break into America, and he went like, let's make a pop album. And so Modern Love, I remember that coming on the radio. I've seen the music video back in the day, RCR Countdown in New Zealand. That was such an awesome song. Like, it's got such a great groove, great chorus, call and response chorus. Amazing. China Girl, again, I think for me, one of the top 5 best songs ever written. Like, it's an incredible song. That's, for me, China Girl's kind of like the epitome of songwriting. The lyrics, the music, everything, it's just a brilliant song. Let's Dance, again, just brilliant. Cat People, number 4, like, brilliant song, love it. The thing is,
wait, Cat People's not number 4. What version of the album did you listen to?
No, I mean, well, it's second to last song, but for me, those are the top 4 songs.
Yeah,
those are the blowout songs. Like, they're incredible.
All right, okay, carry on. I'm with you.
And I think the hugeness of those songs, when you get an okay song, it sounds flat compared to a pretty incredible song like China Girl. And modern love, you know what I mean?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I know what you
So
mean. So you're saying exactly what I said about this album. So we're not just two cunts disagreeing.
it's four incredible songs, and then you've got three good songs that I'm going to defend. That they're good songs. I think "Criminal World's actually a really great song too.
Mm-hmm.
But "Without You" is no, it's a good song. It passes the time. It's just not a great song.
It's filler. It's filler.
"Shake It" is a pretty cheesy song by today's standards, but I just don't mind it. It's fine, kind of a thing. "Ricochet" is a complete horseshit song. That's total filler. And I got comments. I was reading from Bowie. He was talking about it, and he said "Ricochet." He said it came out wrong. It's basically the redheaded stepchild on the album. He said it was a good song, but like they recorded it and it just turned out crap, but they decided to stick it on the album anyway.
What? Tell me, young Daniel, Let's Dance, right? You remember that music video? It was like Bowie in Australia, right? And he's dancing around in some red shoes or whatever.
I couldn't believe he was in Australia. That blew me away.
That's it.
Remember?
There's Aboriginals everywhere. But what I want to talk about is not the video, but the length of the song on this album. Now, I love Let's Dance. I think for me, you're going on about China Girl being the best song ever written in modern society. I think Let's Dance is a far superior song to China Girl. But the single version, I found this version on the album, it's like the guy behind the desk, like Bowie finishes his last chorus, and then the guy like falls asleep on the loop button, and it just keeps going. Like maybe you're supposed to be dancing for another 4 minutes, but the song should go for like 3 minutes and 57 seconds and then stop. This one goes for 7 minutes 37. It's like 4 minutes too long. It's too long. It's too long.
Yeah, but they cut it in half for TV. Like they cut it off at the solo, don't they, on the TV version?
Yeah, that's it. Get in, fucking get to the point, and then get out of there, Bowie. You know, it's not like it's this. I mean, this isn't no Stairway, right? It doesn't need to be 7.5 minutes long. He's talking about let's just dance. Let's put on our red shoes and dance the blues.
Yeah, but you want to dance for 7 minutes, don't you?
Or 7.5 minutes, apparently. Maybe that's the perfect time to reel in a big fish and get your hands on her hips or his hips. Great. I created dead air. Did you see what I did there, everybody? I have no point. I just thought Dad's been talking for so long. I need to get something in there, and that's all I had.
Yeah, nothing in the tank, but you need to deflect the lips anyway.
I'm an utter professional.
Peaking
my game.
My small problem with Let's Dance music video is that Bowie's playing guitar with white gloves on. I just can't figure out how that works.
How does it work?
And the other thing is he's playing the guitar solo in the video when that's a Stevie Ray Vaughn guitar solo. I feel like he's taking a little bit of credit for someone else's amazing playing.
Yeah.
Did you feel like Stevie didn't fit on the album?
Absolutely. Yeah. When I heard the blues licks, I was like, fuck, this sounds weird. I get it, but it just didn't sit right for me. And now I know why. I didn't know why because I didn't do my research. But yeah, Stevie Ray, it makes a whole lot of sense.
No one expects much of you, Brad. Don't worry about it.
It was like Bowie had made and finished the album. And then the producer went, this needs some blues guitar on it. So they just overdubbed it. It doesn't sound like he was there in the session. You know what I mean?
I believe he turned up and nailed his parts in a couple of takes, he said. And he would come in, play what he was planning to do, and Bowie would go, can you work on this bit and that bit, change this a little? He would do that, and then he pretty much nailed it in a day or two, and off he went.
Did Stevie Ray play it with white gloves on? I reckon he did.
Well, I doubt it, but I imagine he wore a hat with a feather in it and had been drinking bourbon all day.
That's right. That sounds like him.
So this was an undiscovered Stevie Ray Vaughan. It was Bowie that discovered Vaughan and brought him in. Apparently, Niles Rodgers thought this guy's a bit average, but Bowie said, no, he's cool. Get him on the album. So he played. Niles Rodgers plays all the guitars except for those couple of solos that Stevie does.
Right. So Stevie's not really there. He's just doing solos and then fucking off, right?
Yeah. He was asked, Bowie asked him to come on tour and play the parts on tour. Stevie Ray Vaughan wanted his band to open for Bowie, and because he was bringing out his first album. And Bowie said, no, I don't want that at all. And Stevie said, well, fine, I'm not doing it then. And he didn't play on tour at all and just went off and did his own thing and became the legend Stevie Ray Vaughan.
Yeah, he's got a few songs. What is peak Bowie to you?
This is a pretty damn good album, but I think Scary Monsters.
So the one before this.
Yeah, like this is what do you say? It's a lot of covers. It's reworkings of old songs and pretty much, like I say, he was wanting to have a hit, so he was wasn't experimenting a lot, was he? He played the safe game on this one, and it did work. And,
but back in the early 80s, all you needed was 2 hit songs on an album, and then you've sold the album. That was what you did. You have a couple of songs, and people are still going to, dish out their $10 for the whole record.
Well, he had 4, and he became David Bowie. I mean, he was David Bowie before, but now he's David Bowie. He's Bowie.
Yeah. All right. Look, peak Bowie to me is always going to be fucking Labyrinth, dude. I know that sounds odd, but it's fucking Bowie. When I think Bowie, that's exactly where my mind goes to. Giant codpiece, huge hair, dance, magic dance.
Dance, magic dance. Yeah. That's the period he was referring to as his Phil Collins years. Apparently, he was always like now Niles Rodgers said he was like the art rock guy, and if he had a hit, that was just a coincidence. Whereas he was trying to make hits on this album, and then now after this he was trying to chase the hits and doing commercial shit, and he got a bit lost and just didn't know good from bad. He's like, I don't know what a good pop song is. This stuff's all shit. It took him a few years to go weird again and start being really cool.
When did Ashes?
Super weird.
When did Ashes to Ashes come out? Was that before this? Yeah, it must have been. No.
Yeah.
In the ballpark. All right.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, you've got Starman, Space Bowie, then Labyrinth Bowie, then weird 90s, different colored eyes Bowie. And then in the 2000s, there was no Bowie. And then he died.
There was lots of Bowie. A million albums.
Yeah.
He did that album before he died, Black Star.
Yeah.
Which, because he died, the critics all called the most amazing things in the world. I had a little re-listen to it the other day. Still think it's shit.
Yeah. Yeah.
I mean, some of it's, But what was interesting about Bowie is that he would get incredible musicians together, and he said he would write a song, give it to them, and hear them play it, and go, "Oh, that's really interesting the way he's playing it. Like that's really surprising." And then after an album or two with these people, he would give them a piece of music, and he would think, I thought they would do that. Like that guitar player only's got so many tricks in his bag. And so he would dump the whole band, start a brand new band. When he gave the music, he wanted to be surprised again, And so this is an album where everyone's been dumped. even he's been dumped off playing an instrument. And I just find it, he's one of the, he's, you gotta say, he's like one of the most incredible artists of our time. Like when he died, that hurt, you know. He's one of the guys when they die, you're like, oh, fuck, not Bowie.
Yeah, the world's
And,
a little bit less strange without Bowie.
oh, but, because it's strange, but then again, he changed modern culture to his way of doing things too, you know. And we don't have many people like him. Yeah, it really hurt. But the way he did it was just constant reinvention and taking so many chances and risks. He was also a businessman. Like he was the first guy to sell his back catalog in advance. So he got like 700 million or something back in the day, I think I read. For his back catalog. Yeah, he was a smart guy. You watch interviews with him. He's so well spoken and intelligent, and
yeah,
can't say anything bad about Bowie.
I can drop this. I don't know whether you knew this or not. I saw Bowie live back in 2000 at Glastonbury, and for one guy to come out on the massive stage there, and they have I don't know 100,000 people plus there in the audience. And just one guy, and just instantly the stage presence was, holy fuck, we're in the presence of genius. Like whether you go album by album or whether you've just picked up Bowie's greatest hits, he's definitely affected the musical timeline, like he's got songs from the 60s through to, the 90s. I can't think of any hits in the 2000s, but it's just hit after hit after hit. The dude can write a fucking song.
Certainly can. Interesting thing, the song Criminal World is a cover. The band that originally did it, oh God, do I have it here? Whatever. There was a band that originally did it. The song got banned on the radio and stuff because it's has a lot of, it doesn't say anything overtly, but it's about bisexuality. And there's lyrics about kneeling at your boyfriend's door and things like that.
It's about trust, Gary.
Yeah. So Bowie, he covered the song. He changed the lyrics in the second verse and stuff to be about girls. He says, he kind of changed simple changes like kneeling at your girlfriend's door instead of at your boyfriend's door.
I think we should cancel Bowie because of that. He's not accepting of different cultures. How dare you, Bowie?
Well, apparently, when he was younger, he said that he was bisexual to a reporter. Mm-hmm. And later on, he regretted it because he said, well, I was just young and I was experimenting and I'm kind of over that now. So, but he was a progressive person. Like apparently back in the day, he used to greet audiences with hello, ladies, gentlemen, and others.
I'm sure Bowie had
else did.
I'm sure he had a dick or two in his mouth, and it's acceptable in today's culture because
did you know
of Bowie.
That he rooted Mick Jagger.
Did he? It sounds like a rumor, but hey, if you're out there, ladies and gentlemen, and you want to see the greatest music video of all time, Dancing in the Street, David Bowie and Mick Jagger, they may or may not have apparently fucked while making that music video. But it's 80s genius.
I like to picture Bowie on top, and Keith Richards in the corner crying, and Bowie pointing at him. Watch it. Watch it. Watch it.
I'd prefer
I want you to look at this, Keith.
I'm just going from, I'm crunching the numbers here, but I'm looking at Mick, and I'm looking at those world famous Mick Jagger lips, and you know what's happening here.
Yeah. Yeah. I think it was just a display of dominance to me. Pretty great. Pretty great.
Mastered by Bob Ludwig, who, because we haven't said their name yet this episode, he also mastered Metallica's albums, didn't he? Bob Ludwig.
Rings a bell. It's an amazing sounding album.
Oh, apart from the tacked on sweet blues guitars that shouldn't be there in the 80s synth nightmare.
They sound great.
Yeah.
It's a mixing of genres. It's like a little bit of disco guitar and funky bass and blues guitar and Bowie's soaring vocals.
He is in fine singing form. I'll give you that. Like he's definitely found his voice at this point. But again, this almost looks like an extended EP to me. Song, let's give him 4 songs out of the, what do we got? Only 8. Fucking short album too, 39 minutes. 8 songs, and then he's fucking out of there. And one of them 7.5 goddamn minutes. Try harder.
Well, 39 minutes is pretty average. It's kind of funny thinking it's only 8 songs. Usually it's 10 songs in 40 minutes.
That's just insanely short. Insanely short.
Yeah, but it gets in, gets out, no problems. I listen to it over and over again.
Like, yeah, but I guarantee you fucking phased out when it got past those banging singles and then drifted off into Turdland. Like Modern Love, Trying to Go, Let's Dance, solid. Like if you were putting that out as an EP and this is like your debut album, wow, look at this band or this guy is killing it. And then just filler all the way to the end. It's like he started off real hard and then just went, fuck it.
Every record you picked has got 2 okay songs, 8 shitty songs, and you give it 8 stars every time.
Essentially, the way this works is you pick one, I hate on it. I pick one, you fucking hate on it. It's the way this goes. You should know this by now. We're many episodes in.
That is a falsehood.
And then you're just going to say, no, I love it all. I'm so positive.
I've been pretty...
I say, fuck you.
I've been positive on all your albums. Like I've been a lot nicer about your albums than you've been about mine. And you even admit they're crap.
Because I'm a cunt.
Still give them 8 stars. There's no logical consistency to anything you say.
Hey, you wanted to do a podcast with me. This is what happens. I talk shit with you for half an hour. And then, I've just talked about Mick Jagger blowing Bowie. I never thought I'd do that.
If he asked, you would, though, wouldn't you?
If who asked? If Mick Jagger asked me to watch him blow David Bowie while I'm in the corner with Keith.
No. You're blowing Bowie and Keith's watching in the corner.
Oh, would I blow Bowie?
Yes. Yeah.
It's debatable.
I can't believe you thought about it. Oh my God, you're a married man. I would have said no instantly, Brad.
It's David Bowie. Yeah, that's a claim to fame when you go to a party. I had David Bowie's man chowder in my mouth.
Yeah.
This is not safe for work.
Okay. So skippability for you.
I'm listening to 3 songs, then I'm turning it off.
You're not even getting to Cat People?
No, fuck no. Again, so the original that was in the film, dum, 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 and then was used again to wonderful effect in Quentin Tarantino's Inglourious Bastards. That's the version. That's the banger. It's rocking with gasoline. And he's in it. This one sucked hard. And all the way through listening to it, I was just like, why? Why would you do this to yourself? What's the point? Why fill the album with it? Why record it again? It was
to have another massive hit.
This wasn't the hit though. The movie version was the hit. This one was just some shitty cover.
Anything else? Yes. You're skipping. You're listening to the first three and skipping the rest of the album.
That's correct. So I'm skipping, but then so the skippability is quite low because there's fuck all songs on the album because it's so goddamn short, and one of them's 7.5 minutes. But yes, I am listening to 3 and skipping. Do my maths, 5 of them.
Well, for me, yeah. I got Modern Love, China Girl, Let's Dance, Cat People, and I kind of stretch it to Criminal World too, being epic. The rest is okay, except Ricochet. You can skip that one. It's pretty crap. So I'm giving it 1 skipper out of 7.
All right, look, I'm just I'm looking. I'm doing my investigations here. And Bowie was unhappy with the backing track for the original Cat People. So he told old Niall that he wanted to remake it. Right? Apparently he was really bothered with how it came out and wanted to re-record it. Bowie knows best, I suppose.
I think it's a great version. But I think you get adjusted to what you've heard, and then you're like,
of course,
like with the Let's Dance music video.
It's like when you hear a live version of a song first, the first time I heard Lithium by Nirvana was a live version. I was like, that's fucking great. This is how it goes, aggressive and raw. And then when I heard the version on Nevermind, I was like, this is a bit tamed. That's right. And Cat People was apparently nominated for Best Rock Vocal Performance, male. But he didn't win it. He lost it to Michael Jackson's Beat It. Understandable.
I don't know. I'd go Cat People.
No.
Red gasoline. Oh, yeah. Man's got a voice.
Not this version. Oh, he does. But it's a Bowie voice, Like if he was on, if Bowie went on, what's that fucking show where they spin the seats around? The Voice. I don't know if anybody would spin for Bowie. He's it's unique.
Yeah, I don't know. Those programs, they go for squeaky clean, perfect voices. And then you think about all the legends, they're not squeaky clean and perfect. Like they're distinct and they're a bit off and you recognize them straight away.
Yeah.
The ones that won tend to be a bit generic to me. I'm like, you never remember them.
That's it. They wouldn't turn for Bowie. They wouldn't turn for Bob Dylan. They probably wouldn't turn for Kurt.
No, Tom Petty. For Tom Petty. All the best singers.
Let's do a Tom Petty album.
I'd love to do a Tom Petty, yeah. That was another one that hurt. Wow, Tom Petty. Cat's Meows.
Oh, fuck. Out of 10. Those three songs are good. I'm going to give it only because those 3 songs are good classic Bowie. I'll give it a 6.5 out of 10. That's out of the power of those 3 songs. Continue.
For me, out of 10, I'm going to give it 8.5 Cat's Meows and a vomit on the kitchen tiles.
Yeah. All right. Well, we're not too far apart. We're enjoying it.
When my little cat Elvis, he vomits on the tiles, I pat him on the head and say, good boy. He didn't get it on the carpet. Very good boy. So it's not a complete disaster. You can just skip Ricochet. It's a great album. And you'll live with Shake It. It's a fun song.
I would recommend just not listening to this album and just getting like a really good David Bowie greatest hits, because then you'll get the 3 good songs off this album and the rest can just fuck right off.
That's the Spotify world, Brad. I mean, everything's free. Music's disposable. It's
go out and go to a record store, leave your house and drive somewhere and buy petrol and go to a store that some poor cunt is paying rent on and flip through cardboard sleeves and find the $50 vinyl double album of Bowie's greatest hits and purchase that and then go to a fucking another store and buy an actual record player and put that on and find out the needle's broken, and then you got to buy another one to replace it. And then you can listen to music like we used to.
Yeah. Yeah. As opposed to one earbud in your ear and the other earbud in your friend's ear.
Yeah. On a bus.
On a bus.
Yeah.
10 and million songs you can access to immediately, and you skip every single one of them after 5 seconds. I've got that. Yeah. No.
If it doesn't catch you in 7 seconds, yeah, you're skipping. You're on the next one.
Rolling Stones. I listened to 3 seconds of them. Oh God.
Smells like my dad. Smells like? Oh, fucking, I don't know. I'm losing it.
What smells like your dad?
The Rolling Stones.
Well, we just end it there, shall we?
Like old people in regret. Yes, if we're at 30 minutes, let's end it there.
Yeah, smelling like Mick Jagger after a hard session, and
after with Bowie's fucking meat sausage.
Drizzled. All right, okay, we're done.
That was horrible.
Thanks for listening to Pointless and Confused. We believe there's a little thing where you can send a tip if you want. We have no idea how it works.
We need cash.
Yeah, for whores.
And Vegemite.
Yeah. And what
Good day.
No, I've got to tell them the other thing.
Oh, what was the other thing?
Subscription.
Look, you could subscribe if you want to hear the sound of our sweet, sweet voices in your ear. Whenever a new episode drops, you'll be the first to know.
Yeah, we're not sure how you do that either, but you'll figure it out.
We're new to this. Come on, you guys.